Hello and welcome to the video. This is a video about this new version of the OMPHobby M2 helicopter. Now those of you are probably looking at this thinking, hang on a minute, this looks very, very familiar. And you know what? Yeah, it kind of does, because it kind of looks exactly like the previous version at first glance. This is my M2 V2. I did an entire series on this modern helicopter. This is the model that has really reignited my love of helicopters. You can see, of course, I added FPV to mine, but this is a fantastically capable helicopter that has just kind of been upgraded and replaced with this, the M2 EVO. Now the M2 EVO, as I said, at first glance looks pretty much the same, and interestingly they've managed to retain the price point of the cheaper versions of the M2, but significantly change the stuff on this to make it a far more capable little helicopter. Again, if you're looking at moving into helicopters, this is a great size. There is some big changes. So this is kind of more of a first look than a full flight review. Let me go on the bench and take you through the stuff that's changed on this, but also talk about the few things that they haven't changed that were fine on the M2 V2 to begin with. Now I need to give a shout out to Scotia RC up there in Scotland. I got my original M2 V2 from those guys. This has come direct from OMPHobby, but checking with those guys, they are getting shipments of these in, but they're selling out very quickly. I will put links down below. I think at the time of recording, they're even taking pre-orders for the stuff that's coming in. This looks like it's going to be a very, very popular helicopter. So the box itself is exactly the same size as the original M2 V2 that I got in. Main motor in this is now a Sunny Sky V4 Mark II. The tail motor is a little bit bigger. It is the Sunny Sky R1 Mark II, available in white, yellow, charm orange, which is what I've got here, and also red as well. Servos are all metal gear, but polymer cases this time, which helps with weight and also helps keep the price point a little bit further down. And they are digital again. Main rotor diameter on this has been increased to 434 millimeters, and the tail rotor diameter has increased as well to 89 millimeters. Flying weight is approximately 335 grams, so above the 250 grams or half a pound limit that lots of places are talking about at the moment. Dimensions on this are 434 by 72 by 138 millimeters, and the battery has increased in size as well. It's now a 3S 750 milliamp hour, up 100 milliamp hours from the previous version. Flight time for this is going to be 10 minutes maximum if you're flying nicely, with about 4 minutes if you're doing extreme hard 3D. So in my box, we can see I have one of the spare battery. There's also one in the model. You'll see that in a moment. So that's 2 batteries. Double check the listing to see what you're getting in yours. There's a little pack of spares with a main shaft, a feathering shaft, and also, interestingly, a swash leveling tool. Do check the listings on Scotia RC. Some of the stuff he's been getting in, because he did some pre-orders, do include some extra spares, like some blades and things. So check the listings carefully at Scotia RC. Once you are in here, then the rest of it looks pretty standard. There is a little manual, inverted commas, for how the flight controller flybarless units is all working. But to be honest, if you've already seen the other series that links down below, you'll know how it's all set up. To fly this, you're going to need a RC transmitter, although versions of this are available with a Radio Master radio that you can fly it with, and you're going to need a battery charger too. So now we've gone through the unboxing, let me show you the differences a little bit more closely. Now this is how it is all together. Again, I've gone for the orange. There's the original M2 that I know and love, adapted for FPV, of course. But let's go through everything. First of all, the canopy is a little bit different. In terms of the paint application, doesn't appear to be different in terms of the actual size and cutouts and everything else. Comparing the two together, they look incredibly similar. So it looks like you can replace one for the other. The paint application and the decals and all the way they do it, OMPHobby do an absolutely fantastic job with these things. They look amazing. I quite like in the early days, I always liked to have the canopies looking like there was some kind of, black glass, like there was a little person sat inside. These days, I'm kind of not as bothered, but they are interchangeable, so it looks like this will also work as spares for both different versions. There is a new head design, quite significantly different from the original M2. This is a FBL style head. Now, at first glance, it just looks like, well, what they've done is they've taken the button off but the grips are the same. They're actually not when you look a little bit closer. The big difference here is that the head on the new EVO is actually using these connectors, standard kind of ball link connectors at the top and at the bottom. And that means that as the blade grips flex, which they're designed to do with the dampers in the middle, it means that all of the phasing and timing isn't affected. The old one had kind of these big bolts that went through the top that meant that if the blade grip flexed, it kind of stressed that entire link. In the new version, it's all ball links, and they've also done away with the head button. You can actually see the feathering shaft through the whole thing, and it's a little bit shinier. I think I kind of prefer the individual setup. You can see here that you also have all of the extra linkages in the head compared with the original version. So this is kind of a full, what I would describe as a full fly-barless head. Second thing then is there are definitely larger blades on this thing. They've increased the blade diameter. So the blade length is now 190 millimeters, so significantly longer. That means that the diameter, the rotor diameter, is now 143.5 millimeters. I've already heard of pilots getting hold of these and putting them on their M2s and performing very well. But this gives you a little bit more blade discs to deal with, a little bit more mass in the blades, which can help with some kind of maneuvers. The tail boom itself has been made quite a lot longer than on the original version. So if you put them side by side, you can see it's a little bit longer. The way it's actually connected into the body, it's the same funky teardrop shape. Move the M2 out of the way. But the way it's actually held in place is different, and that allows you to slide the tail boom backwards and forwards to adjust center of gravity. That's kind of a nice update. As well as that, there is a much larger motor and prop on the rear here compared to the original V2. This is a lower kV motor with a lot more prop area. Now the whole point of this is that it just isn't going to make the same kind of high buzzing noise that the M2 makes when you're doing hard yaw right maneuvers, and it should kind of be a little bit more efficient as well. That, in addition to the slightly longer tail boom, will give you a lot better tail authority and a lot quieter running too. The frame looked quite similar on the new EVO compared to the M2, but those of you that have looked at the M2 closely will immediately spot there's quite a few differences. There has been a reduction in the number of parts here, which has lightened the entire frame while retaining the stiffness. The kind of the top plate here for the top bearing is the same. However, the motor mount here that actually becomes part of how you connect the tail into it is completely different. So they've done away with a couple of pieces of aluminium. The other thing that's meant is now the way the battery is connected is different. In the old one, you had the tray sliding system. In fact, I ended up designing a 3D printable part so you didn't have to keep buying trays for all your batteries. In this, it is a friction fit. Not only does it fit the new batteries, this is one of the other changes. It's gone from a 650 to a 750 milliamp hour battery, which is a little bit thicker. You can still fit the older 650 batteries in here, so that you don't have to worry, if you've already got an M2, of kind of having to buy a total new set of batteries to fly it with. So what is the same then on the EVO compared to the M2? Well, the big thing is the fly-barless unit. It's exactly the same fly-barless unit. The nice thing about this is that you can access all the settings if you really want to by just pressing the set button and playing with things on the radio. However, my experience here is actually this does a really nice job. It'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward, because it would be nice to have other options on here to change things. There's no USB cable to plug things in or to tweak things if you are a more advanced pilot. How it comes is how it's set up. If you want to play with stuff, then you need to add an external S-bus receiver for you to be able to do stuff like change the curves, throttle behaviors and all those kind of funky things. And the only other difference with this model versus the older one is that this is now shipping with the Zorro radio. Now, I did a video a while ago where I actually showed how you could use your own multi-protocol radio with the OMPHobby protocol to actually bind to this using this internal antenna, and it looks like that is how they've decided to do it. So you can get a version of this that also comes with a radio, but if you have a multi-protocol radio already, you don't need that. You can just bind to it already. You don't even need to buy a separate S-bus receiver unless you really want to tweak things. So in summary, I think this is the definitive version of the M2. I loved my M2 V2. It's a fantastic helicopter, but the vastly superior head on this should make this a much better model. Now, at time recording, I've only had a couple of hops with it. I haven't really put it through its paces, but I have noticed that there feels to be much better kind of responsiveness and feel from this real FBL style head with all these additional linkages in it, and the tail rotor seems to be holding beautifully well, even though it isn't direct drive, which is my preferred style, but it's also a heck of a lot quieter too. So if you were thinking about getting the M2 V2 and you couldn't find it, these are now in stock. And as I said at the beginning, definitely worthwhile visiting Scotia RC. They're selling out of these as soon as they're getting them in. And now I've got this in my hands. The price point for this is kind of the same as some of the older versions. They've managed to retain the price point, but give a lot of cool upgrades that actually make for a far better helicopter. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organized into easy to follow playlists that if you're trying to learn a topic will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.